And Florida police have released 911 calls from the chaotic moments after an 11-year-old boy shot two 13-year-olds after football practice.
Which medical? My son got shot, Miss.
Your son was shot? Okay.
My son. In his bed on that Jason Berlie part. I can't get it out. Hold on.
Okay. Where is he? How? I'm sorry. How old is
He's right here in front of me.
How old is he?
I know. Just wait.
How old is he?
He's 13, man.
Okay. Do you know the description of the shooter or any information on him?
No, I have no description.
Do you have a visual on him right now, on the juvenile?
It is a juvenile. I don't know if the guy in the car is the one who was shot or he's the one who did the shooting. I don't know.
Okay, so this happened Monday night, and investigators say the boys got into some type of altercation during practice, and then the 11-year-old allegedly ran to his mother's car, got a gun, and then shot one victim in the arm, the other in the torso. Now, thankfully, both of those injured teens are expected to be okay, but that alleged shooter was taken into custody and charged with second-degree attempted murder. All right, let's bring in legal analyst and trial attorney Misty Marris. Misty, great to see you. Such a disturbing case. It involves a juvenile who's facing a very serious charge, but given his age, just 11 years old, how is this likely to proceed? And realistically, what type of punishment could he potentially be facing?
Absolutely. Such a tragic case, such a tragic set of circumstances, and just watching that 911 video, seeing what happened that night and the parents and their reactions, just awful. But you bring up a really great point. This person is 11 years old. So every single state has a juvenile justice system, and they're set up a bit differently depending on what state you're in. In Florida, there is a very clear rule. The law will can treat juveniles as adults. The age of criminal culpability is 16. There is no waiver on that. There's no prosecutorial discretion when the defendant is under 14 years old. So here, 14 is that threshold. So this 11-year-old will go through the juvenile justice process, which means that his sentence would be served in a juvenile detention center. It will be in the juvenile court system, not in the adult court system. As far as potential sentencing, there are a great deal of factors that are brought into the courtroom during the sentencing process. There are mitigating factors. It's age, level of maturity, whether or not they've had interactions with the juvenile justice system before, a whole host of things. So it's hard to tell where this would land as far as a sentence. However, what we can be certain about, this will be in a juvenile court.
All right. So, Misty, there is a surveillance video in this. I mean, we're taking a look at it right now. How is that going to impact both the prosecution here as well as the defense?
For a prosecutor, you're going to look at this and you're going to talk about aggravating factors. You're going to be looking at this video and seeing the way this unfolded. There's an altercation between the boys. He goes to the car, takes the gun out of the car. Now we're seeing the aftermath. I think that this video, because it's not going to be the "it wasn't me" defense, right? That's not what's going to happen. What it's going to be is very, very relevant to the potential prosecution of the adults who failed to secure this gun. There's several different areas of potential criminal culpability and charges that could be brought against the adults. That's all going to be very fact specific. But this video, the way that this happened, that's all going to be relevant specifically whether or not the adults responsible for this firearm knew or should have known that this child might go and do that. Has he reached for the gun before? There's so much here to unpack, but I do think this video going to be much more relevant to that piece of the puzzle and ultimately to sentencing and punishment.
Well, Missy, digging into that a little bit more. So this gun was in a box in the shooter's mom's car, but investigators say it wasn't locked. It should have been locked. So do you think she is likely to face charges here, and could they be of the same magnitude considering her son's young age of just 11?
I think we're going to see charges. Prosecutors and investigators have so much said they're looking into it. I do think we will see something. So several different areas of charges that could be relevant in this case. First, there's laws regarding failure to secure a weapon when it's likely that a child could have access to it. That's a misdemeanor in Florida. That's only 6 months maximum. So that's more minimal than some of the other charges. The next is what's called culpable negligence. This is a gross disregard for human life, just basically ignoring a potential risk.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.